First half is in the books, and the Chicago Bull, down at one point by 19 points. They're down by 7 at halftime. And unfortunately, right now, the Chicago Bulls just aren't really executing defensively the way that I would have liked to see them execute. Now, it is what it is. Both teams are shooting 33% from 3-point range. So you got that. I would assume is on a tear scoring wise right now. You got to give him much love for the way that he's playing right now. I would assume was really carrying the Chicago Bulls in a lot of ways. And the Bulls overall, this was just one of those halves where it's like you look at what the Bulls did. DeMar DeRozan with 12 points. He's only 3 of 10 from the field. You got Ayo Dosunmu, who's 8 of 10 from the field and 2 or 3 from 3-point range. And Kobe White, not looking the best. 2 for 5, though. Not looking terrible either. He's moving around out there, not looking like he's moving any gingerly or anything like that. So that's really good. He's played 13 minutes so far. But you got Dillon Brooks leading the Houston Rockets with 15 points. You got Jalen Green with 11 points. You got Landale with 12 points. And you got Jeff Green with another 10 points. The Bulls just got to tighten up the defense, man. They got to tighten up the defense. That's kind of unacceptable. 5 turnovers by the Bulls so far in the first half of the game, 8 by the Houston Rockets. So at least they're winning that battle. Bench points. The Houston Rockets have 30 points off the bench. The Chicago Bulls have 10. Points in the paint is a closer margin. 30 for the Houston Rockets, 28 for the Chicago Bulls. Second chance points, the Rockets have 7, the Bulls have 4. Points off fast break, 15 for the Rockets, 9 for the Chicago Bulls. So they got things they need to tighten up on. I want to see them perform better off the boards. They're being out-rebounded by 5 rebounds right now in that first half of the game. We even saw the double big lineup out there with Drummond and Vooch for a little bit of time. Again, still wasn't effective. It never is. I keep telling you guys that. But nobody wants to listen to me when I say the double big lineup is not an effective lineup. It just hasn't been for the Chicago Bulls. It's not all on Vooch and Drum. Some of it's on the makeup of the roster for sure, but you got to realize it's just not working for you. It's not going in your favor when you play the double big lineup. It just hasn't been. We get a couple more rebounds. We get a few more possessions, but we always have a bad net rating and everything when that happens. So, I would love to see the Chicago Bulls move on to something different than keep trying to make this double big lineup work because it's not effective for the Chicago Bulls. Like I said, when you look at all things considered, it's just not as effective as I know that they wanted to be. It's not as effective as some fans wanted to be. That double big lineup just isn't good, man. It isn't good. So, let's see what the Bulls do for that. See how they counteract that. Maybe they can find a little bit more success with it in the second half of the game. But right now, the Bulls are getting killed off effort and energy plays, and that really sucks, right? Jalen Green's so tough, bro. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Brazil Popular says, what are we doing, bro? I have no idea. I have no idea what we're doing. None. It's so funny that they're under the bench center is killing both of our centers, and he doesn't even play that much. Yeah. Crazy part is we're actually losing this game, and we're keeping their 2 main scorers at bay a little bit. Uh, uh, I guess, but that is why role players can absolutely kill you, right? It's not like we haven't seen it before. Role players can really make a difference in a game for a team, and so Dillon Brooks leading this team and scoring with 15 is crazy. Let's keep it real. Anybody worried about Chris? Not anybody worried about Kobe White because we've known him to have games like this in the first half? Yeah, nobody should be worried about that. It'll come along, and this is his first game back from injury, so. Dan, what kind of defense is that, Vooch? It's not just Vooch. I love everybody. I'm not saying that it's not just Vooch. As a team, we're playing bad defense. The crazy part, look, Shea starts every sentence off with the same thing. Bulls will get to 500. Will they? Eyes purple crime. Listen, I told y'all it doesn't matter. Getting to 500 really doesn't matter if you can't stay at 500. So this is like the ninth time I've seen the team get a layup or dunk, and not one Bull is trying to get back. Effort. Getting killed on effort. Haize, why does it feel like we lead the NBA in slow starts? I mean, if that was a trackable stat, I would not be surprised if the Chicago Bulls led in that stat, if that was like something that was tracked. Big Diesel, Dillon Brooks should win the award for biggest asshole in the league. I'm so glad for the Bulls did not sign him in free agency. Yeah. Listen, Dillon Brooks is one of those players, I won't lie. You hate him if he's not on your team, but you love him if he's on your team. That's what I'll say. Billy Donovan really gets on my nerves because it's like when a player gets going or gets hot, he takes them out the game, and they're the one keeping us in the game to begin with. I mean, you need to get some rest. Sometimes it's not as simple as just, oh, you're hot to stay in the game the whole time. But it has been a propensity for Billy Donovan to do that. I'm here at the game right now. Iowa's been cooking decent amount of energy from Bulls fans in the building. Good. Let's hope that they keep it up and can help push the Bulls to get this lead, to take over this lead and get to 500 tonight. Melvin says, I'll be wanting to know what this team does or says in the locker room preparing for games like this when they get to 500. Bubblegum chewing sounds by Billy Donovan. I know we talk. I know the talk is about Kobe, but Iowa is to me on the same level. He's drastically improved from last season. He has improved. Now he hasn't been as consistent as Kobe White has, but this run that he's been on is right up there with Kobe White. Right, is the run that he's on now. If he does the remaining of the season, you'll definitely be able to say that for sure. The Bulls effed around in the first quarter and found out them boys ain't playing around. Nice recovery though. Let's see some energy and adjustments next half. That's what I'm worried about. Ime Udoka is one of the better halftime coaches that can make adjustments at halftime. He just is. And so and Billy Donovan is not that. So I'm interested to see what adjustments the Houston Rockets come out here with, and then what the Bulls team is or isn't, how they are or are not prepared for that. It's going to be really interesting to see. We need to play great defense in the second half. Who the hell you telling, brother? People need to realize that if you are hot, you are taking a lot more shots and more active. They probably be asking to come out and sit for a bit. Exactly yeah, exactly. I'm at the game beefing with local fans. Bulls can't let me down. That's not you. Don't get jumped, bro. Don't get jumped. Should Billy give Sanogo playing time? It can't hurt this game. At least he will give some energy. It can hurt because it's not just as simple as playing with energy. Um, you know, I think they're trying to use this whole first year for Adama to really adjust. But you don't want to put him out there if you're trying to gain momentum. You don't want to bet on a rookie who hasn't played a whole hell of a lot of NBA minutes. I get why you're saying that it can't hurt because, yeah, he can rebound, he can block some shots. But I tell you what, playing pick and roll defense in the G League is a lot different than playing at the NBA level, and I'm a little concerned about him there. Why do the Chicago Bulls always start with slow starts? They don't always do, but they do a lot of the time. Haize, I love DeMar, but damn, as soon as we get the game closer, DeMar slows the game down for his ISO ball. When his shot is off, I wish he'd share the ball more. Well, that's not ISO ball. What you're seeing from DeMar today, DeMar's actually only had one isolation play this game. What you're seeing is not isolation ball. What you're seeing is that a play that's ran for DeMar DeRozan, and he's trying to get the game, get scoring because nobody else has it. So, listen, I get what you're saying, and then I get knocking DeMar, especially what he does, but that's the design of the offense. They're trying to get DeMar DeRozan going because their offense hasn't looked the best. Haize, you're wearing the most casual Bulls gear I've ever seen. The most casual Bulls gear you've ever. I have way more casual gear than I wore than this. What are you talking about? It's a t-shirt. They're going to try to get out on the break on us in the second half. It worked well against us the first half. We got to get back. Well, I'm more worried about how they're adjusting on the defensive side of the ball. They're going to keep doing what works offensively. So, Haize, what do you think about the G League situation? You mean the G League Ignite situation? Well, luckily, I have a whole NBA channel called NBA Central where I actually broke down that video, that topic with Steve-O, talking about what it's like. What does it mean that the NBA decided to shut down the G League Ignite? Not enough of you guys are subscribed over there. I have a whole general NBA channel with 1,635 subscribers. We got almost 18,000 subs over here. Y'all don't really love me like y'all say y'all do. Y'all don't really love me like you say y'all do. Is what I'm coming up with, because the fact that you even asked me that, not knowing that I have a whole NBA channel, it hurts my feelings. I'm hurt. I'm appalled. That's what it is. I just put the link in the chat. Go and check out NBA Central. I'm just giving you shit. I mean, I do have an NBA channel, but just giving you shit. He can't be worse than Marco defensively, right? Oh no, best believe he's not worse than DeMar. But that's why Marco didn't play much either, right? Now, every time we saw Marco get in there, he just got dunked on. I meant the Chicago Bulls need to play great defense in the second half. Yeah, they need to. They definitely need to lock it in. What do you think? What do you think we need to see in the second half, Haize, from the Bulls? Defense. That's what defense. The offense isn't that bad, right? I think if you're playing much better defensively, it'll be okay. But we need to lock in better defensively for sure. I remember when Jeff Green was the youngest player on the Celtics 13 years ago when they had the big three in Rondo. Now he has an old man bald spot. No, that's not an old man bald spot. That's a landing strip. That motherfucker, his bald spot is wild. It's wild. Double big heavy second half, not by the way that it's looked out there, but we'll see. TSJ looked good tonight for the second for today in the tournament. I'm hoping the Bulls can get him in the draft. He could possibly be DeRozan replacement if the Bulls can't retain him. Here's what the thing: I would love TSJ on the Chicago Bulls team, but they're not going to draft him. Like as much I can talk about. I can give you a laundry list of reasons of why he fits the Bulls, why he'd fit the timeline, why he'd be really good next to Kobe White and Ayo Dosunmu. I can give you a laundry list of things. But one thing AK does not do, he does not sign or draft players with character concerns. And with that court case going on with THJ, it's not going to get him. It's not going to get him drafted by the Bulls. I would love the Bulls to draft him, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I missed the pregame. Did you shout me out because it's my birthday? I didn't, but happy birthday to Brandon Peck. Man, Bronny isn't worse than Marco, and that's saying a lot. No, Bronny's worse than Marco Simonovic. Sorry. No, Bronny's worse than Marco. He's better defensively than Marco, but everything else, he's not better than Marco Simonovic. You think Andrew Funk should get a chance to get some minutes he can shoot in something we lack with? No, just play Earn a lot more. No, I'm not too worried about Andrew Funk trying to bring the shooting that the Chicago Bulls need, in my opinion. But only 6 minutes from Batum in this game. Now we get it. Kobe White's coming off the bench. Him and Andre Drummond are leading off the bench as far as minutes. But I do love the fact that we haven't seen any Javon Carter today. Do love that. It's been all young guys, basically. Batum, Terry, with Kobe and Drummond out there coming off the bench. There's only 4 players that have come off the bench so far. Mr. Winslow, I like what Ayo's doing out there, but even he's had his stand around and watch more. Oh, facts. And that's why I say it's a team-wide. That goes back to coaching. Nobody on your basketball team should be comfortable standing around watching. Nobody should. Nobody should. Bronny couldn't even beat Carlik Jones in the pickup game. Facts. Javon Freeman Liberty would absolutely cook Bronny James in a pickup game. So, yeah. Man, this Chicago, we don't care about no case. We just fit in with the city. He's from Chicago, but AK cares. That's the thing. AK, Arturas Karnisova cares. He ain't drafting nobody with no pending case, bro. I can tell you that right now. I would love to be wrong on that. He ain't drafting nobody with no pending case, bro. Now, let's say that the case that it comes out, right? He's completely vindicated. They find nothing's there, whatever. Okay, maybe. If that happens between now and the draft, that could change it. But as long as that thing's pending, it's not happening, fella. It's not happening. Who wins one-on-one, Jello or Bronny? Hey. Probably Bronny in that case because I'm sure Jello would have, just like his brothers, some type of leg injury that he'll be out 5 minutes in. That's just what's going to happen. So, yeah. Bulls fans for real just want every guy from Chicago on this team. Well, I'm not even saying because he's from Chicago. I get why you're saying that. But TSJ isn't because he literally fits everything. He can score, he can put the ball on the floor, he can pass them, his 3-point shots growing. I really like THJ's upside. It's not just that he's from Chicago, but it is what it is there. But all right, y'all, gonna go ahead and wrap up the live stream. Be back post game. Let's hope the Bulls can overcome this deficit. Let's get to 500 tonight. See what we can do. Love you guys. Go Bulls. See red, y'all.